Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Becca with House of Lenormand, and today is Monday, December 16th, 2019. I wanted to say hello and welcome to all of the new subscribers that have come over from Jen Lynn's Tarot channel. Thank you so much for being with me. I had a blast. I had so much fun with Jen on her reading the other day that we did on Skype. And I look forward to perhaps having an opportunity to do that with her again. It was a lot of fun. She asks brilliant questions, and I'm so happy that she took the time to expand on a reading that I had done, because she had so many questions and they were just brilliant questions. So thank you, Jen. Thank you so very much. And thank you to everyone who's here from her channel. I also wanted to give a shout out to Queen's Tarot here on YouTube. She is doing phenomenal work over on her channel. She expanded on that reading that Jen Lynn was talking about, the one that I had done for the Inspector General Horowitz and Barr. And she took with it and she ran with it. And she was able to piece it all together in regards to that religious organization that I was referring to in that video, that I wasn't sure what it was about. She was able to piece it all together. So I'm going to try to remember to link that video down below for you guys. It's quite informative. It's really, really good. So please make sure to check that out if you would like. And I also wanted to say hello to Ona, because I adore her. Ona's Tarot. She's fantastic. She's fabulous. She's just super. I really do like her. Today I wanted to read on the missing Ukrainian money. I had done a box spread for Mango Mussolini. I believe it was earlier in the month, to see how his month was going to go. And in that box spread, we had the fish, the man, and the mountain. And I had said that there was money that was blocked. And I wasn't sure if it was money from the Ukraine, if it was what's going on right now with the whole investigations and the impeachment, or if it was money that was being withheld from other areas or other countries. And the viewers, you guys are so wonderful. You let me know in the comments section that he was currently withholding money for that's supposed to be going to Lebanon, and that there was $35 million that was designated for the Ukraine that has still not made it there. So I wanted to run with that today. So I came in here and I did this 3-card spread to ask a simple yes or no question. Is he still withholding money from the Ukraine? We have the ring here, which is positive. We have the mice, which is negative. And we have the sun, the stars, which is positive. It's ending on a positive card here. This is saying yes. There is a criminal conspiracy here. There's a ring of criminality, a ring of thievery, a ring of corruption, but it's ending on a yes here. And what's also interesting here is that we're ending with the stars, and this is one of the 3 cards in the Lenormand system that are of the celestial bodies. When this is not in reference to technology, this could also be in reference to something that's in space. If I read these two, there is perhaps a contract with technology, or a contract for something that has to do with space. And I don't see anything here that says that anything was rerouted, but it looks like they took away from something, because the mice takes away. The mice takes away from the card before it. So it looks like they took away from a promise for something that has to do with space. I'm going to put this away and shuffle my cards again and ask if the money went to that stupid Space Force, because that's ridiculous. It's illegal. He can't do that. So let me ask, and I will be right back. So I asked on this top line here, this is a yes, no. I asked if the money that's being withheld. The 35 million went to the Space Force. We have the moon, which is positive, the heart, which is positive, and then we have the tower, which is neutral, but it's because of its neutrality, it's taking on the card before it. So it's saying yes. What's interesting, though, is that this right here is also, it talks about government, institutions, corporations, and enterprise, but this is also a structural, architectural structure that separates you from another person. So this could also be in regards to the wall, the actual border wall. We know that a judge did rule, I believe it was in Texas, that banned him from stealing the money from the military to build that stupid vanity wall. So I'm having a little bit of difficulty, because even though this is saying, it's saying yes for a program or something that has to do with the government, or quite possibly a literal wall. If I read these two, this could be an institution that's represented by the moon. So I don't know if this is in regards to Turkey. I do not know how they would be able to transfer that sort of money out, because it's millions, to a different country where it's not supposed to be going to, because this right here could be talking about Turkey without getting caught and just ending up in a heap of trouble. And it could also be saying that it is a literal structure where he is recognized. It's kind of like, it's not vanity because we don't have the bouquet here. But if I read this linearly, it's saying career, love, government, or career, love, border. Okay, so something that he would love for his reputation, or something that he will be recognized for, either on a wall or some sort of a program in the government. I asked down here in this line of 3 if it went to the border wall, simply because we had the tower. So we have the book here, which is neutral, the anchor, which is positive, the writer, which is neutral, so it takes on the one before it. This is saying quite possibly yes, because we have a secret that is permanent, that is being delivered, or news that's being delivered of a permanent secret, of a secret that's it's stuck. It's like you can't get in there. I'm going to try to do a double line of 5 and see, because I'm getting 2 different answers here. The first one, there's a possibility that it went to the space program. Here it's possibility space program, border wall, Turkey. And this is something that's being delivered in secret, or a message or news that's coming in about something that was done in secret, and they're keeping a lid on it here. So let me go ahead and do that double line of 5, and I'll be right back. Hi everyone, welcome back. So I went ahead and pulled a double line of 7, and I asked, where's the money that's being withheld, that's supposed to go to the Ukraine? And we got the fish central to the reading, which is really, really good, because that confirms that it's picking up on the question. Fish is about money. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through this together. I might pause this in between to kind of sit with it and look at it a little bit more, and see what everything I can get, because I pulled a double line of 7, and I'm going to try to extract as much as I can from here. So on this top line, we're seeing the ship, the child, the clouds, the fish, which is the money that we were talking about. We're seeing the dog, the woman, and the man. Down here, we're seeing the cross, the clovers, the birds, the book, the heart, the coffin, and the sun. Central to the reading on this double line of 7, we're seeing money that is hidden, money that is secret. This money here can be in reference to payment as well. It's money, paper money, trade, commerce, stocks, import, export, but it's money, and it's secret right here. So we're seeing that there's something new or in the early stages that's going on overseas that has been clouded over and is being done in the shadows. And then we're seeing the money or payment for an advisor, a woman, and a man on this very top line. Over here on this bottom line, we're seeing that there's been some difficulty overseas, or something that's foreign. This could be difficult travel or something overseas that's quite burdensome and causing a lot of trouble. But there is a lot of burden, and a quick conversation or a quick meeting or a phone call or perhaps some sort of an interview that was done in secret about something that these people are passionate about, but it's closed off here. And then there's an exposure here. If it would have been this way around with the sun before the coffin, you ain't getting into that. But it ends here with the sun. So all of this, whatever this is, this gets exposed. Here we're seeing something that is highly classified and confidential. I don't know if this is in reference to a black box. I'm not seeing the stars anywhere in this reading, so I can't say a server, like a black box that houses technology. I'm not seeing that here, but this could be in reference to some sort of a safe also, with these two mirroring each other. And it's been closed off, or it's somewhere where it's like you can't access this, but then it gets exposed here. We're seeing burdens overseas or something, a trip afar that's quite burdensome. There is a very small luck here, a small risk, a small gamble, or perhaps something to do with conversations in regards to a child. So I don't know if this is still Hunter Biden, because we're seeing a child here. It's a small risk, a small gamble, or an opportunity that has to do with a child. We're seeing a lot of conversations and meetings and negotiations that are being done in the shadows here with the clouds right over it. This could also be a lot of meetings and negotiations that are clouded over. They're confusing. There's a lot of hesitation and doubt here. Secret money, a passionate friend here, a woman that's closed off somehow. She's got the coffin right below her, so this can be in reference to an illness. This could also be in reference to, you know, I don't want to be literal, but the Lenormand can be like that. A woman that passes. I'm not sure. And then here we're seeing a person that's being exposed, or they're taking the heat. If we start knighting, we're seeing negotiations and conversations overseas with an advisor that's being exposed. These meetings and conversations, whether it's phone calls, interviews, it looks like it's this person here, whoever this advisor is, and these players back here. But usually with the birds, it's a small group of people, perhaps about a dozen people that may be involved with these meetings. But the money, it's like the money's hidden, the money's secret, or there was a secret payment to these people here. Here with the fish knighting over here to the coffin, that's money that's closed off. This is bankruptcy. This is money perhaps that is tucked away somewhere. Like here, it's secret. And then when you knight it over here to the coffin, it's closed off. There's an ending here, an end of payment perhaps, or payment that is not made. The money is closed off. And then here we're seeing the exposure of this person here. Now, like I said earlier, this person, he's very close to these people, and there looks to be meetings and negotiations around quite literally 12 people, a dozen people that are having these meetings. So I don't know if this is Giuliani and those other two lawyers that he's working with, the married couple, because these two are right next to each other and they have the heart here. These people are all in relationship, So I don't know if this is Giuliani and those two other lawyers that he's working with and some other players that I don't know who they are, because there's 12 here, a dozen or so that know where the money is. Because here it's telling me it's secret, closed off, but then here it's like payment, advisor, woman, man. I don't know if this would be Mulvaney. I don't know if this is Giuliani. Like I said, there's quite possibly like about a dozen or so people involved with this. That's what it's looking like. But it gets exposed here in the end. With the corners here, we're seeing something foreign. And then there's success here, exposure. This could also be foreign energy here with the sun. The sun is not close to the clouds. They don't night. So by the rule of near and far, they're not really talking to each other. But there's right here, the money is closed off. Okay. If this is in regards to energy for this person, if they're in some sort of, I can't say agreement because we don't have the ring. But what this could be, and like I said earlier, these do not mirror and they're a bit far from each other. What this could be is money for perhaps something that has to do with like gas, like a payment for gas or something like that. I'm not seeing the tower, so I can't say like a energy company. Let me go ahead and pause this and sit with this for a minute, and I'll be right back. So I sat with this for a little bit. Like I was saying earlier, there is a possibility that there's about a dozen advisor or maybe half a dozen that are involved in this. The money is closest to whoever this advisor is. This advisor is very passionate. He's looking to shut this woman down and make this person successful. Okay. So like I was saying earlier, there's a possibility here that we're looking at the little goblin, Giuliani, and the two lawyers that he's working with. And shutting this woman down. I'm not seeing the house here, so I don't know if this is Pelosi. But the money is closest to him, to this advisor here. I am not sure if, since the dog is someone that is an advisor, a protector, they're more of in a supporting role. I am not sure if there was a meeting or a phone call or some sort of a conversation with him to not make that payment, which would be bonkers because we do not have the tower in this reading at all. This person is not in an official government role. If this is the little goblin advising him to not make payments, this guy would be writing legislation from somebody that's not even in the government telling him what to do and how to appropriate funds. So this person would be completely bypassing Congress and the entire system. It's just mind-blowing. But the money is closest to him. And this is someone that's in an advising role. And what's going on here is that there's phone calls, meetings, negotiations going on with overseas with this person, and they're being exposed, or they're bringing something to exposure, or they're going to be exposed, or they're doing something with these phone calls overseas that perhaps may have to do with a child, to exonerate this person, put him in the best light, make them successful. We're seeing here a secret about a child, with the child knighting over here to the book. This could be perhaps Hunter Biden, or this could be a new secret. And then there's this woman. So she may know about something that they're doing regarding this money. Let's see here. There is gambling here. with the clovers knighting over to the fish. This is gambling, comes to an end. It gets shut down. There's a confusing affair with this man, or a lot of confusion that this person is quite passionate and loyal to him. So again, Giuliani, but why is he showing up so close to that money? I mean, like I said, you guys, that would be just bonkers if this man is telling him what to do and he's listening to him. Because like I said earlier, he mirrors over here to the cross. He's guilty. He's facing a trial, a burden. And this guy is very, very loyal and very passionate about his loyalty to protect and defend and put this person in the best light and quite possibly shut this woman down. I want to go ahead. This is just, this is ridiculous. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to focus on that fish and see if I can get a little bit clearer, because it's saying that it's closest to him. Either he has it, or when he's talking to this guy, telling him to not make that payment. Which is freaking nuts. So, and then I want to come back and see if she's investigating, or whoever this woman is, because we don't see the fox anywhere in this reading. I want to know if she's investigating, or there's some sort of secret investigation or something into that money, not payment, not made here, payment closed, payment not made. And then that money is secret right here. And the money being secret, that because of what this person was advising, perhaps in conjunction with these half dozen people back here, that they've been doing it in the shadows and keeping it closed off from her. It gets exposed eventually here, because we're ending with the sun. But he may have told him to not make that payment. Like I said, you guys, that would be insanity. That would be like insanity. Like, if we're looking at the mirrors, foreign, confused, friend, and then the man here, which I'm assuming would be Mango Mussolini. Burdensome conversations, and then here we're having a very passionate affair, or not a passionate affair, but kind of like being very passionate about being successful. We're seeing child, money, woman, or new business, woman, or the early stages of business, or the early stages of a payment, and then a woman. And then down here, we're seeing an opportunity that's being kept secret and closed off. So let me focus on that and see if I can get some descriptors, because it's looking like he told him to not make that payment. Okay, I'll be right back. So I went ahead and I focused in on the fish for my money card. The question that I asked was, where is the missing money for the Ukraine? He's showing up again with the birds. And I mean, I'm telling you guys, I'm sorry that I don't shuffle. I film on my iPad and I take a long time to shuffle. Like, so, I'm sorry if that bothers some of you guys. My apologies. Sometimes when I set up my computer table, in my office, I'll go ahead and read. I usually do it on lives or when I'm Skyping with Jen or so, but I normally use my little mini-sized decks and I film on my iPad. And like I said, I just take a very long time to shuffle. So here's the money, and here's that advisor again, and these people. The birds here is usually indicative of a pair of people. So this could be a pair of advisors, or this could be whoever this person is that is in a supportive role. And perhaps a dozen to half a dozen people. It's a small group of people. And what's interesting here is that Down this diagonal, we're seeing the whip, the fish, the cross. This is, if we read it literally, abusing money trial. Abusing money, that's a burden. This could be money for weapons, something that is used to punish and inflict pain. It's something that's quite painful, so it could be weapons. Down this row, we're seeing an opportunity for a country is burdened. With the garden here, this is a very large area where a lot of people preside. It's like a huge neighborhood, estate, an outdoor area where this involves very large groups of people. The birds is more like a small group, like your tiny little network, your clique. And this is a very, very large area. So we're seeing the opportunity for a country that is burdened. So this could be in regards to the Ukraine. Here we're seeing something that is closed off. You can't get past this. It's closed off. It's a closed off area. The money, and then this advisor here that is a person that's in a very protective role, and they are also an advisor of some sort. Here we're seeing criticism or abuse of power, and then a conversation here with the bear. It's power, it's force, it's strength. So there's abuse of power, and then a phone call and a meeting or some sort of negotiation with this guy. There's a pair of them, or at least, or half a dozen, but it's more like there's it's like a phone call between both of these. The someone in a position of authority and him have had a phone call. Now let me pause this for a second. I got to get something on everyone. I'm back. Those phone calls that these two have been having, meetings, phone calls, negotiations about the money. If we night, excuse me, the birds nights over here to the coffin. This is something that's done, that is closed off. These meetings are closed off. They're closed off to the public. Eventually they do become public, because here it comes out this way. Whatever phone calls and conversations these two are having, excuse me, that is, I'm sorry, I saved my cards, that is closed off to the public. They're guilty. And what I mean by guilty is, it's like, even though I'm not seeing the ring here, it's proof of wrongdoing. And they're hiding it in this area, in this box that you can't get into. It's closed off. We're seeing here that there is an opportunity, a risk, or a gamble that ends, and then there's abuse or some sort of criticism, or this is something that shows a pattern. It's repetitive. It happens over and over and over again. And it looks like whatever opportunities have come to a close, there's a pattern to this gambling with money. Here down this diagonal, we're seeing an opportunity for money and then conversations. This here is like gambling, money, phone calls, conversations, and meetings. So there's a phone call or a meeting between these two that had to do with gambling with money. And that money here, public funds, large sums. These two here, where this is like your everyday money, like the cash you carry in your purse, stocks, the markets, trade. And then over here with the bear, this is huge finance. So we're seeing public funds and then power, public funds in very large amounts. So with the fish being number 34, this could be like 34 million or something like that, simply because we have the bear. It's a very large sum of money. And there's a phone call about either gambling with that money or what they're going to do with that money, because there's been something that's closed off, and there's a pattern to this, and there's a pattern to these conversations that they're having. We're seeing here that there is a burdened friend, a burdened advisor that is talking here. Let me see. He is taking a risk and a gamble with the clovers knighting down to him. He's taking a risk and a gamble, and there's a pattern of it. And he's abusing something, and he's criticizing something. On the corners here, we're seeing an opportunity to repeat verbal arguments, and then there's a trial here. This could be an opportunity for a public trial as well. Even though I'm not seeing the key, I can't say that they're using this as evidence. An abusive friend. There's public backlash here with the garden knighting over to the whip. That's public backlash, public criticism, and then large groups of people, perhaps in some sort of a committee where there's hearings. This is a large group, and this is people that are talking, small groups. So there may be something coming up in some sort of a committee hearing, probably a committee that has to do with money that may be hearing this soon. But the question was, where's the money? It's with this guy. This guy said something about the money and closing it off. Don't give it to him. Because here's the opportunity for money that's being talked about. That opportunity is closed off. And then there's a pattern to it. So Giuliani, for me, that's what I'm getting. Giuliani and perhaps a couple of other advisors are all over this thing. And it ends here with the birds. So there may be people that may use their voice to speak, blow the whistle on this. I don't know when. Because it looks like these conversations, like I said, are closed off. The conversations between these two people about the large sums of public funds. I know I have a lot of viewers that view the bear as Russia, because Russia is literally symbolized by a bear. You know, that could be a possibility, but I don't see anything here that says that the money has been rerouted. We don't have the crossroads. We don't have the storks. And it's not like they can move public funds out of the country. We don't see the ship here either, which means the money is far away. It just looks like he may have advised in a meeting to shut it down, not give it to him, payment not made. And when all this thing when this whole thing cracks open, it's going to expose this person having made that decision and advising the other guy to make that decision. Because down this line, this diagonal here, we're also seeing money that's being laundered, and then there's a trial or there's guilt of it. And then here, down this diagonal, is talking about taking a gamble, gambling with money, large public funds, huge amounts of public funds. But it's in an area that is closed off. It's in that box. And with the birds knighting over to that coffin, there may be phone calls in that server. Even though I'm not seeing the stars here, there may be phone calls in that server that show this person is guilty for what he said, or for what's been talked about, or what's been negotiated, or what is on a voice call, a phone call, a meeting. It's in that black box. And also, I know that he was there just a few days ago meeting with Mango Mussolini, the little goblin was. And I'm sorry I'm speaking in code. I just can't say certain things on YouTube without getting flagged. So the goblin is the little guy that used to be the mayor. That's who I refer to as the goblin. But I know that he was there meeting with him, and they were having a phone call. That meeting is closed off. It's not open to the public. It's closed. Because here we're seeing something that is closed, something that has ended, a loss, a serious, painful loss. Someone in a position of authority, which could be Mango Mussolini, the little goblin here, and then the public or the country here. And this right here, because the cross is right next to it, this could be the public trial. But it looks like he may have advised for that payment to not be made. I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to ask if this is currently being investigated. So I just wanted to ask a yes/no about the missing huge sums of money, the 35 million that are missing, if it's being investigated. We have the crossroads, which is neutral. We have the key, which is positive. It's ending here in the book, which is neutral. Because this is a neutral card, it takes on the one before it. This is saying yes. There may be some sort of vote that is being done in private about how to move forward, but it's like yes, but it's being done in secret. And because it's here next to the crossroads, this could be in regards to a vote that needs to be taken for them to go ahead and move forward with the investigation, but it's secret here. This could also be talking about there's alternatives and choices and options, a decision that needs to be made in private or a decision that needs to be made in secret. But because the key is right before the book, which is neutral, the neutral takes on the positivity of the key. It's saying yes, it's being done in private. Let me see. I'm going to try to do a really quick line of 5. Sorry about that. I'm going to quickly do a double line of 5 and see what the outcome of that will be, and I will be right back. So I went and I had asked if for the outcome of the investigation of the 35 million that is still missing from the Ukraine. So what was going to be the outcome with that? And we're seeing the letter, the child, the bear, the fox, and the dog. Down here we have the storks, the key, the clover, the whip, and the woman. So we can read this literally as a report for a child, a person in a position of authority, and investigations done by an advisor. So this right here could be talking about the little goblin helping Mango Mussolini investigate a child and some sort of report this person is bringing forward. Okay, here we're seeing that there's going to be a change here to a report or some sort of a document. If this is in regards to the articles of impeachment, even though I'm not seeing the scythe here, because the letter is knighting down over here to the clover, which is card number 2. Right now we only have 2. If this is the articles of impeachment is small and simple, there's 2 of them with this little thing that's going on over here. Okay, so it looks like there's going to be a change to a document. If that's the articles of impeachment, there's an important change here because there's another instance here of abuse, and there's evidence of a pattern of abuse. And then here with the key knighting over to the fox, we're seeing a very important investigation. The child knighting over here to the whip, this is new abuse or criticizing a child. Okay, so like I said earlier, there could be something in that the goblin is providing Mango Mussolini with about an investigation into a child, but whatever investigation that is, which is important, it's also fraudulent with the fox being here. The fox is cheating, manipulating. It's not something that could be trusted, and this person is not trustworthy either, even though they see themselves as being, private investigator here. This person is fraudulent. Now, here's the thing. This person leaves and returns like the storks. They leave and they return. And they're changing stuff, and there's a pattern here of manipulation, a pattern of fraud. There is a strong possibility, since the key is knighting over here to the fox, and it's right next to him, and this guy, there is a strong possibility that the key is something that opens and has access. Okay, it's the key, it's the answer, it's that aha moment. Okay, there is a very strong possibility that these 2 here are under surveillance. They're being watched. The fox is very cunning, very smart, and very, very manipulative. It's your investigators. They're covert. You don't see them. Okay, so there is a very strong possibility that even though this is ongoing here and it's showing a pattern, abuse of power here with these 2, there is a very strong opportunity here that both of these guys are currently under surveillance. Perhaps by intelligence, someone that has knowledge, has the key, has the answers. Let me see here. There's a small document here and here. Perhaps these are the articles of impeachment that have 2, but then it looks like it changes here as new evidence comes forward, because this would be evidence. Okay, we're seeing the criticism of a child and a very powerful woman here. we're seeing a smart woman here as well. And then she has a letter or a report, or perhaps, like I said earlier, even though I'm not seeing the scythe, I can't really tell you articles of impeachment, but she adds something because this document gets changed and upgraded. Okay, so I think, and she has the dog right over her. This could be saying, if I look at these and these, that she is loyal to a very important document that is changing or is being upgraded. So this could be talking about her being smart and being loyal to the Constitution here. And they're working to change and upgrade, perhaps write new legislation to prevent this from happening, even though it's not going to happen now while she's, while we have the current Senate that we do. Here we're seeing new evidence with the child and the key, and it could also be evidence of a child, again, Hunter Biden. And then here we're seeing a pattern of investigations, a pattern of fraud, a pattern of manipulation. And then here we're seeing someone that's in a position of authority, that's a risk taker. They're a gambler. They don't take things seriously. They're making a joke out of it. This is also theater here with the clovers, like comedy. Okay, this would be your comedies. So even though for us this is a terrible nightmare and, the worst thing that could happen, but for him this is a joke. It's comedy. But I would not be surprised because of where the fox is landing between these two. These two are working together on investigating a child and providing some sort of fraudulent report as evidence against this child. This woman here and this right here, I would not be surprised if intel with the key here and the fox between these two are under surveillance. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up here. I wanted to say hello and welcome again to all of the new subscribers. Thank you so very, very much for being with me, and a big, huge thank you and lots of love to our beautiful Jen Lynn here in the community that was so kind to extend me the opportunity to do a reading with her. That was so much fun. Okay, you guys, if you have any further questions or have any recommendations or anything you'd like me to read on, please leave it down in the comments section down below, and I will add that to my list. And again, thank you so much for being with me, you guys, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye-bye.